Hey there, how's it going? I'm MisterBo, and we have just had a ton of Crash Bandicoot 4 stuff to cover this week. Obviously, with the reveal trailer back on Monday, we've also had some gameplay, as well as some leaked images of Entropy, Torna, and Dingodile. If you want to check out any of my videos in which I've covered all of that stuff, there'll be links in the description below, or there'll be links in the top right hand corner now on one of the cards. But today I thought I would go over my actual honest opinions on what I think about Crash Bandicoot 4, including the gameplay we've seen, the visual style, and even some of the music and voice acting and stuff like that as well. Before we get into that though, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has been watching the content over the last couple of days. The videos have been doing extremely well. We've seen an increase in like 546 subscribers, and hopefully that can continue leading up to the launch of this game and beyond. With that being said though, of course, I'm going to throw this on the screen. 75% of you guys still aren't subscribed, so if you do enjoy my content, think about clicking that subscribe button so you get to stay up to date with all my future videos. It really does help the channel and I super appreciate it. With all of that out of the way though, let's start off with how this game looks, the visual style of this game. Now, I've been pretty vocal in my previous videos this week about how much I absolutely love this brand new look for Crash Bandicoot. Now, I'll be honest, if this looked bad in my opinion, I'd say it. I did not like the Skylanders Imaginators version of Crash Bandicoot. I think people only really accepted that version because we hadn't really seen Crash in such a long time, and that was Toys for Bob as well. Now, I didn't mind the Insane Trilogy look. It wasn't my favorite. I did definitely prefer it when it came to Nitro Fueled, but I think the thing I really didn't like with the Insane Trilogy is most of the characters had this sort of weird fur texture on them, which made everything look a little bit muddy and a little bit dirty. And I feel like, especially the Insane Trilogy and not so much Nitro Fueled, the colours didn't really pop as much as we're seeing in this new game. I personally feel like Crash Bandicoot really did need a new fresh look to him to keep him modern, to keep him relevant. We're in 2020 now, not 2010. And that continues on with the environments we're seeing in this game. Again, they're super vibrant, they look like they've got a lot of stuff going on. It feels like there's more happening in the world than just this singular path that you're walking along. You can see out into the distance, you can see where you're going to be going in the level. Again, I think they've done an absolutely fantastic job here, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the game looks like, as well as getting a glimpse at some characters who hopefully will look awesome as well. So let's talk about gameplay. Now, we can't really tell about the gameplay until we're holding a controller in our hands and we're playing it for ourselves. Now, I'm not one of those people who's going to hold the magnifying up to the gameplay and make sure his jump is perfect and he's hitting the right arc of his jump at the exact same time as the original games or anything like that. I'm just doing it from eye, and it looks pretty solid in my opinion. I've gone back and I've played the Insane Trilogy, and something just feels slightly off. It feels slightly too clunky. Obviously, Insane Trilogy was trying to replicate these games back from the 90s, so I understand it. But when it comes to Crash Bandicoot 4, if it feels like the Insane Trilogy and then slightly clunky and a little bit off, like you're trying to jump somewhere and you can't really exactly pinpoint where you want to jump, I think that's going to be a problem. 3D platformers have come a long way since then, and it would be a shame if they don't really sort of allow this game to be a lot more fluid and a lot more sort of easier to maneuver. I think a lot of the Crash Bandicoot community are super nostalgic like I am, and I don't think most people are sort of willing to new change because obviously we got Wrath of Cortex and everything else after that, and it never really hit the same stride as the original 3, and the fact that we haven't had a brand new entry in the franchise for such a long time, people are a little bit cautious in what we're going to be getting here. Obviously, the Insane Trilogy was absolutely beloved by most people, but I think that acted as a good stepping point for Toys for Bob to iterate on those games, bring something fresh to the table, and hopefully be something that a lot of people enjoy for years to come, and hopefully sort of reinvigorate the Crash Bandicoot franchise. So hopefully we maybe get a Crash Bandicoot 5, a Crash Bandicoot 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, however many, and maybe we do see some occasional remakes of things like Crash Bash in the future. I personally would love to see another new kart racing game using this brand new art style we're seeing. Now, when it comes to the sounds in this game, whether that's just sound effects or the music, Crash Bandicoot sounds are iconic, and we kind of know if they were slightly off or they didn't really sound like the original. And at this time, all we have to really go off is the reveal trailer and the B-roll footage we got. So I can't really make a judgment on the music just yet, but from the little snippets that we can hear, it does sound pretty faithful to what we've heard in the Insane Trilogy and Crash 1, 2, and 3. In terms of the sound effects, again, they sound very faithful to what we had in the Insane Trilogy and Crash 1, 2, and 3, so I don't really have any complaints there. Now, the one thing that I am slightly worried about with this game, and that comes with actually playing this game. Firstly, the story. Now, I hope the story doesn't fall flat on its face. Hopefully it makes sense. Hopefully it ties together why this is Crash Bandicoot 4 and not Crash Bandicoot 8. Hopefully we get to see glimpses of those other timelines, games we've previously played before, and hopefully this sets up something more in the future. The other thing is the way levels are structured. Now, we know we're not going to be able to sort of pick and choose which level we want to play at any time, like you were able to in Cortex Strikes Back and Warped. It's a very linear path like in Crash Bandicoot 1. So hopefully the levels don't get stale. Hopefully we're not playing like 5 levels of Wumpa Island and then we move to Gas Moxia, and we're playing 5 levels of Gas Moxia and then we move to another location and it's again 5 of those same locations. Hopefully they're quite dispersed out and it's like Wumpa Island, Gas Moxia, new location, maybe back to Wumpa Island. I do also hope we see some vehicle or like riding animal levels like we saw in the original games to sort of break up the gameplay from time to time. Whether that's just a straight up ride Polar to the end or ride Pura to the end like we've seen in previous games, or maybe we get a bit of platforming and then you hop on one of the animals, do a section of the level and then get off, do a little bit more platforming and then finish the level, because it's always nice to take a break with doing something new, and hopefully the new gameplay mechanics of the quantum masks doesn't get stale super quickly. Hopefully it stays pretty fresh throughout the whole thing. Hopefully it does get pretty challenging, especially with like the gravity mask and the time mask, which we've seen already. I don't want to be getting near the end of the game, pick up another mask and go, oh, I know what's coming here, it's another one of these sections. And then the final thing I'm kind of worried about at the moment is the length of this game. Now, I don't want this to be a 40-hour game, that would be ridiculous, but I also don't want this to be super short. I think a good length for this game would be something slightly longer than what we saw with Warped. I'm thinking roughly around 6 to 7 hours. I think IGN actually made a great point on this. I'd rather have 50 amazing high quality levels than 200 pretty okay levels with a few really standout ones every so often. So there you have it. Those are what I liked and what I'm a little bit unsure of with Crash Bandicoot 4 at this current time. Overall, I am super excited. I really do like the direction that Toys for Bob are taking this game, and hopefully they can pull it off. Hopefully this is a winner, and hopefully we get more Crash Bandicoot in the future. After the success of the Insane Trilogy and Nitro Fueled, it would be a shame if a new entry to the franchise, Crash Bandicoot 4, wasn't to do as well, as everyone has been asking for this for what seems like forever at this point. Now, of course, it's not just about my opinion. I want to know what you guys think as well. So let me know in the comments below. Let's have a discussion. What do you think about the visuals in this game? I know most people are a little bit unsure about the character designs so far. I know some of you guys have said they've grown on you as you've watched trailers and gameplay over and over again. And I know some of you like certain designs and maybe not other designs. Also, what do you guys think about the gameplay? I think gameplay is the main thing about this game, not the look. If the game doesn't play great, then it doesn't matter how good this thing looks, it's just going to be pretty boring and no one's actually going to want to play through it. So let me know what you guys think about the gameplay we've seen so far. And do you guys have any worries with this game at the moment that you hopefully want to see addressed in either a future trailer or just when you're playing the game? Of course, as soon as we learn anything more about Crash Bandicoot 4, whether that's small bits of information, a brand new trailer, new gameplay, whatever it might be, I'll be sure to keep you guys well informed. Of course, if you did like this video, then click that like button because it really does help this video reach more people. Like at the beginning of the video, if you're not subscribed, let's try get that number down to 70. We were close the other day. If you'd like to stay updated with myself and just chat to me, you can follow me over on Twitter at @IamMisterBo, and you can also join our Discord server if you'd like as well. Links to everything in the description below. With all that out of the way though, thank you very much for watching and for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. And as always, take care. Bye bye.